3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. Leading them out, their 6-year quarterback. Hailing from Fresno State, that's Derek Carr.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
This is Marlon Mack, 3rd-year running back. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A look at the defensive starters now for the Raiders. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field.
And the Raiders have got him.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the gun, it's Carr. That is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Ebron caught left side. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Taken from just outside the 30. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20.
70, Indy. Hey, Oregon.
Jones on 1st and 10. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, You've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at him with another momentum play. Go quickly, and
that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Des Bryant, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The run there on 1st down gets him a yard to the 26. A look at the numbers for Mack from last week. 20 carries, 67 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Carr. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. .21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jones is going to fire one. That's caught at the 25. It's a gain of 35.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
He completes it to Bryant. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Now Jones. It's caught by Bryant. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jabal Sheard wreaking the defensive havoc.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And he's got this one down to the 10. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with the defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess, and that'll bring up second down. This is Mack on the counter. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On first down, Carr. It's caught by Funchess. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On second down, it's Mack. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And he connects with Ebron. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in a shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Let's go.
Now on 2nd and 13, Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Carr into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
No gain on the play there, second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The Colts on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Operating from the gun, Carr, and that is incomplete. So with 4th down coming up, here's Adam Vinatieri now for the Colts field goal. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. He really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard, that's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Looking to throw. Jones dancing to his left. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
On the ready.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Jones on the move to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
60 Pittsburgh.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the two-point conversion to extend this lead. They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
Marlon Mack now heading back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
91.
Now Jones on first down. Complete to Bryant. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A very solid gain of 27. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Jones. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Carlson able to put this one through. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit, but first, time for a trip around the league on this final week.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd and 7, Jones under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Here's Jones throwing on 3rd and long. Looking downfield for Jones. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked out and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Number 53, Mike 53. I'm coming after you.
Quick throw here to Hilton. And he's only able to get it to right around the 3. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They'll run here with Mack, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They go right back to Mack, and he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. Then tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, 2 teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That starts at 8:15 Eastern as we close out the month of September. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Rolling to his right. Looking downfield for Dez. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. And this is going to be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
They're going to try and throw. Being chased out left. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Jones now throwing on first down. Buying time to his left. And he's going to keep it here. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short game.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll go again here with Mack. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Carr completes it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
All that, and it only nets him a yard. It's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. Carr down to throw. Ebron with it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. It's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr taken in by the tight end Doyle. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Indianapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Check 53, Mike. No gain on this defense, no gain.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. He's got it to Hilton. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Let's go. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Now, Carr again. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2nd and 6. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
He'll buy some time right. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
15 line. 15 line. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Snap.
Jones on 1st and 10. The open man here, Renfro. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards, the final tally.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh. Hey, watch the leg. 2.
Looking to throw. Jones. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Des Bryant, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Funches has it complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. They'll run the screen with Mack. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
The Colts on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Again, it's Carr. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Carr to throw again. Finding Paris Campbell, and there's Campbell's first NFL catch. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
Mike, 53, Mike.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Throwing now is Carr, and the catch made by Hilton. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. Past the 20. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Raiders, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.